You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your early weekly spoilers for November 17th through the 21st. We're going to talk about Nick making threats and Billy being attacked. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following, hit that subscribe button. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week. Then we dive into what's ahead for next week. So on Wednesday, November 12th, we've got Nick busting into the room while Sienna and Noah are kissing, and Nick pulls Sienna out into the hall and grills her about lying to him and Sharon because she's clearly been seeing Noah. And Sienna said that's because that was Noah's info to reveal to his parents, not hers. And Nick starts grilling Sienna about being in the car with Noah or maybe following him in her car the night he had the accident. Sienna denies all that and says there are witnesses at Shadow Room that can say she was at work all evening. Nick asks if Mitch would hurt Noah, but Sienna insists he was out of town. Nick says her husband's real name is Matt Clark and he's dangerous, and says he's known Sienna's husband for decades and the guy terrorized Sharon. And of course, Sienna doesn't believe this, and she wonders if it's all true. Why is this Matt Clark guy not in prison? And Nick says because Matt supposedly died and actually tried to frame Nick for killing him on the way out. And this Mitch persona is obviously fake. And Sienna thinks it's all crazy. But Nick asks how well she knows her husband and how long they've been together. Sienna says the man that he's describing, Matt, is not her husband. And she also says that her husband does not know she's involved with Noah and tells Nick her husband's not the enemy. She takes off. Sharon threatens Matt. Their confrontation continues. She thinks that he deliberately went after Noah, but Mitch is like, no, because he's still pretending to be Mitch, right? Tells Sharon he's glad Noah was okay and denies that he's this Matt person. And Sharon promises to make Matt sorry for these sick games he's playing. And he says he's sick of Sharon's threats, sick of Nick's threats. He's not going to put up with it. Matt says Nick physically attacked him, and then Sharon's the one calling him violent when he hasn't done anything. Mitch insists he's not this Matt person. Sharon grabs him, and then Mitch says, you need to stop putting hands on me. And Sharon says she won't stop no matter what. And then Matt starts talking about getting a restraining order because Nick threatened to kill him, and then she's making threats. So Sharon leaves very upset and leaves Phyllis a message while she's in tears, thanking her for supporting her and Nick while they're going through this Noah crisis in LA. And then Sharon leaves Nick a message saying she confronted Matt and asking should they go to the cops about him. Meanwhile, Nick confronts his son Noah about hiding this Sienna affair. Noah admits he feels bad because he's betraying Allie, and Nick wants to know how much he knows about this Mitch guy. Well, Noah met him in London. Mitch said he should open a club in LA, and Noah says he does feel guilty for sleeping with Mitch's wife because he likes the guy. But Nick says Noah needs to stay away from Mitch and also Sienna. Then Sharon joins, and Noah wants to know what they're hiding from him. Nick tells Sharon he caught Sienna with Noah, but he says it was just a kiss. That's what their son says. And Nick tells him Mitch is really Matt, a very bad man from their past. They tell Noah that Matt hurt Sharon so many times, and they suspect that it was him, Matt, that ran Noah off the road because of his fling with Sienna. Noah is annoyed and tells them to leave. Meanwhile, Sienna has done a little bit of homework, and she confronts Mitch and says, quit lying. He gets annoyed, and first he says, let's talk tomorrow. But Sienna has a photo on her phone of Matt Clark from 20 years ago from a newspaper with a headline in Genoa City. And so he's doing the gaslight thing and saying that she's crazy. Sienna asks if he got close to Noah as part of some game to trap Sharon and Nick. Matt keeps up the gaslighting, calling Sienna crazy, telling her to drop it. She threatens to go to the cops, and Matt gets very serious and says that would be a big mistake. Back in Genoa City, Billy tells Sally that Cane's having a bad day. Billy thinks Phyllis stole Cane's AI and it's causing problems. Sally worries about them targeting Abbottcom. Billy wants to check with their IT people and make sure that they're prepared, and he starts trash talking Cane about him getting what he deserves. And Sally just wants to focus on the launch and not revenge. Billy brings up Audra, and Sally says that both he and Jill will see how good Audra is once she officially hires her, once they're up and running. So Billy asks how Jill is to work for, and Sally says everything's good, and says Jill thinks he doesn't know she's the investor. Billy says he's going to clean up his act. He's not drinking. He's giving up bad habits, and Sally loves this. Thursday, November 13th, Adam and Victor go after Billy. He is attacked. This might be a Newman Media hit piece mocking him for taking the back seat at Abbottcom and Sally running it, or it could be something to do with the AI. Danny and Christine are finalizing their wedding plans. There's about a week left until these two get hitched. Cane is on the defensive. Obviously, his own AI is being used against him. Victor is trying to ruin his business, and Phyllis is in the mix. Friday, November 14th, we've got Mitch Matt telling Detective Burrow, by the way, he's a real cop. He's just a dirty cop. But he tells him to get the guard away from Noah's hospital room, and then somebody corners Noah. So I wonder, with the guard gone, if creepy Mitch Matt is up there and threatens him. That's what I expect. Tessa is talking with Daniel at Crimson Lights. They may have a hard time ignoring their growing feelings. Plus, they may be rehearsing because Daniel is supposed to perform the song that he wrote at the wedding, and I wonder if Tessa will sing with him. We got sparks flying for Nate and Victoria by the end of the week, and Lily finds Cane and Phyllis in a very, very close situation. The week of November 17th through the 21st on Young and the Restless, we've got the Matt Clark storyline taking a dangerous turn. He feels betrayed by Sharon and Nick, also by Sienna and Noah. It looks like he wants them all to suffer, so watch for some danger. Billy's in hot water with Sally for breaking a promise, and Noah and Sienna's feelings intensify, and she pushes more on Matt, who's going to snap before much longer. Now, I do know that Sienna ends up in Genoa City with Noah before the holidays, but I've not seen any behind the scene photos of Matt. So maybe Sharon just kills him in LA. That's what she does. She kills the people that come back from her past to torment her. We've got more details about Holden and Audra's LA secret, and Adam continues to try to protect Jack and Jabot. Nikki may tell Victor to back off Jack, but he won't. Claire's steamy night with Holden is going to set off Kyle. And I wonder if Phyllis can shut down the AI and take Victor down a peg. We've also got Jay Rodriguez back as the party planner Pietro for Cricket and Danny's wedding, which takes place Friday, November 21st, and Monday, November 24th. Johnny and Katie Abbott are back on the canvas for the holidays. We've got Nina Webster and Gina Roma back to Y&R for the wedding. Also at Danny and Cricket's wedding, we should see Michael, Lauren, Abby, Devon, Jack and Diane, Daniel and Tessa, and Daniel should be performing, maybe Tessa too. Also, wait to see if Phyllis crashes, because in a new interview, Michael Damian, who of course plays Danny, said that the wedding won't be a walk in the park, and there are some ups and downs.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.